Welcome YouTube to another console review, and today I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about the Sega Dreamcast. Sega! And this is a really cool console. It was Sega's very last console. It was released in 1999 and discontinued in 2001 in America. So you can probably tell, really short lifespan, about 1.5 to maybe 2 years. Yeah, so it didn't last long, and which is sad because it had a lot of great potential, and it was the first console to start the Xbox, PlayStation 2, GameCube era of gaming. So yeah, it did a lot well. There are a few flaws, but yeah, that's what I'm here to talk about. So as you can tell, the console is actually really small. Like, it's surprisingly small. You may look at it now and be like, oh, this thing looks huge, but it's actually really small. And yeah, so here's the palm of my hand. Yeah, I mean, my hand's kind of small, but well, that just proves to you that it's even smaller than you'd think. And so yeah, it's really small, compact, and you could like carry it basically anywhere if you want to take it over to a friend's house or something. And so here's the power button, open button. It's got a top-loading CD tray, 4 controller ports, which was sort of new, not really, but you know, after Nintendo 64 and stuff, they started putting 4 ports in all the consoles. Got empty side there. AV port, well, no, here's the AV port, here's the AC in, here's serial, and then here's your line in. You'd plug a phone line in here to play some online games, like, see if I can get this out from under here. Like, you could play Quake 3 Arena online multiplayer. Yeah, so you could play, this modem came with it. Let's see if I can take it out. So basically it just comes out like that. It's like really flush with the console, and yeah, it's just this modem, and you'd use dial-up. And yeah, games like that now wouldn't run well at all with dial-up. If you guys don't know what dial-up is, it's before Ether. It's before cable and DSL. It's slower than both of those. My DSL was slow, but dial-up's slower. Luckily, I upgraded to cable though. But yeah, so I'm surprised the games could even run. Like, I'm surprised people could play online with dial-up. They did release a broadband adapter, but it came out really late, and by then the console was basically about to be discontinued. So the broadband adapter is really rare, and it's actually sought after because people still play like games like Quake 3 Arena online still. They run their own servers somehow. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, this was like really the first console to have built-in online capabilities. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. So yeah, here's the controller. It's really nice controller. Feels good. Analog stick's okay. D-pad's fairly nice. Buttons feel pretty good. Triggers feel really good. You got 2 expansion slots here, and you got this little screen here, which is your VMU. So in most games, it doesn't do very much. It just displays the title of the game on the LCD here. But in sports games, like football games, if you're playing multiplayer with one of your friends, you'd both have a VMU, and you'd choose your plays on here so your friends couldn't see what you were doing. Yeah, so you know, in some cases it came in handy, but it was really widely not used very much. But yeah, overall, really nice controller, nice build quality. Definitely get a first-party controller. There's not much to improve on, so you don't really need a third-party one. And yeah, so the thing about this console is that there were so many great games on here. Sadly, I only have around 15 because they're just so hard to find. You can't really find them anywhere unless you go on eBay, and half the time there's no case, no manual. And I'm kind of a, you know, I kind of go complete, especially with disc games. So yeah, I don't buy very many because it's really hard to find them. And I have one local game store that sells old games, That's basically the only one I know, and a lot of theirs are crappy sports titles and stuff I already own. So I'll just show you some of the all the games I own. Quake 3 Arena, great shooter. Definitely recommend it. It's really fun. It's kind of like, imagine Halo on steroids. It's crazy. You just move really fast. And yeah, I played with my friend Andrew. He hated it, but yeah, I really liked it. Really fun. Revolt, not my favorite. It's basically an RC car racing game. It's like a remote control car racing game, sort of like RC Pro-Am and all that kind of stuff. You know, you're driving in backyards and weird tracks like that. It's okay. It's not really the game for me though. Speed Devils. It's just like a really arcadey racer. You know, it's got nice graphics and yeah, it's pretty fun. I haven't played too much of this though. Tomb Raider. You all know what Tomb Raider is. This one's okay. I'm not a Tomb Raider fan by any means. So if you like Tomb Raider, this will probably be a thing for you. Space Channel 5. This is one of those like Dreamcast classics that's only on the Dreamcast. I think Space Channel 5 Part 2 is on the Xbox Live Marketplace. That one only came out in Japan because the Dreamcast actually was supported a lot longer in Japan than it was in the US, so they got a lot more games than we did. Blue Stinger, it's kind of like a crappy ripoff of Resident Evil. That's basically all I'm going to say. House of the Dead 2, one of my favorite games on the system. It uses the light gun. You can also use a regular controller, but it's just a fun shooter, and it's a good port from the arcade, and it's definitely probably one of my most played Dreamcast games. This probably is my most played Dreamcast game, Crazy Taxi. It's another arcade classic. Really nice port on here. It's got the arcade map and a map that's only on the Dreamcast version. So yeah. 18-Wheeler, another fun arcade game. If you can tell, this has a lot of arcade games on the system. So yeah, it's definitely a really nice arcade feeling system, you know. I don't have too many fighters though. Shenmue, this is like another, it's like Space Channel 5, it's like another must-have. I actually really like this, but you gotta play it pretty frequently, because I haven't played it in a few months, and you try and go back and you forget what you've done, and yeah, so you kind of have to play it like you know, every few days to remember what's going on. And then, like I was telling you before, in Japan, the Dreamcast was a way bigger success, and so they have a lot more games on this than we do. So if you wanted to expand your Dreamcast library, you could get one of these game converters. Basically, you turn on the system, put this in, then it tells you to eject this disc, and then you can play Japanese games. And so I only have two, partly because I don't want to have to read Japanese all the time. This one, baseball game, it's like ridiculously hard though. I really don't know how to play it. But yeah, it's sort of fun. And then I have Virtua Fighter 3TB. This is a US game too though, but it came with this like extra bonus disc, so I kind of had to get it instead of the US version that's just one disc. So yeah, overall, it was a great console. People mostly say that this got crushed by the PS2 and that's why it failed, but that's probably part of it. But I think the main part is that you can burn games really quickly. Like, I mean, it takes only a few minutes to figure out how to do it, and it's kind of a shame because, you know, this thing was selling really well, but the games were not selling at all because everybody was just burning games. So they had to discontinue this because if you're not buying games, you can't really keep producing the system. So it's really sad. If people had just kept buying games instead of burning them off the internet, this probably would have lasted a lot longer here. But overall, I mean, really, it's such a great system. It doesn't even go for that much on eBay. It's like, if you can get it for like 30 or 40 bucks, it is well worth it. I paid 40 for mine at my local game store, and I don't regret it. Had a lot of fun with this, and it's just a great system. I mean, really, it's Sega's last system. You gotta love Sega. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned about the Dreamcast if you didn't already know what it was. Maybe you found some games that you might want to get if you already own one. But yeah, I just want to thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe.